All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Good afternoon. My name is Joe Lazarchik. I'm the sales manager at Infranet, and first and foremost, wanted to thank all the folks that have already jumped in here and the attendees that are going to be coming in as well. We appreciate you taking some time to get an update on many things Webex. So also want to thank the Cisco team and the Infranet team in advance. Thanks to Ryan Kincaid and Glanny on the Cisco side. Thanks to Dave and John Livesey on the Infranet side for helping to bring this together and getting the content pulled together here. Couple housekeeping items, as there always are with any webinar. All attendees will be on mute during the entire session, and everybody's video will be turned off as well. Please send in Q&A to the chat. We'll try to answer that during the webinar. If we don't get to it during the webinar, or we want to call it out specifically at the end of about 45 minutes, then we'll do some Q&A here at the end. But please use the chat feature for all questions. The presentation, of course, will be made available to everyone afterwards. So we'll send an email out with the content or instructions on how to get the content. So the folks that are going to be presenting today are Ryan Kincaid. He's a collaboration sales specialist with Cisco. He is a great resource for Infranet and clients as well. And then Dave Vaughn on the Infranet side is going to present and do some live demos. He's a senior collaboration engineer with Infranet, and he's been with our organization for over 20 years. So Ryan's going to cover the Webex platform, what's included in it. He's going to hit on some new announcements and some highlights and updates for the platform as well. He'll also highlight some of the newer Webex devices, be it phones or video endpoints. And then Dave will jump in and out of the presentation. Like I said, he's going to demo the actual Webex app and just show off some of the key features, some of the new features of it as well. And then he'll hit some highlights and some notes on video endpoints too. And towards the end, Dave will also just give a little behind the scenes look with the Webex Control Hub, the management platform for Webex. So with all that being said, Ryan, I will turn it over to you so we can get going.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. And yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for having us and giving us your attention and part of your day to go over, like Joe said, some of the updates going on with Webex. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get things started here. So I wanted to kind of level set initially. I know that a lot of us have different definitions of what Webex is and what Webex can do. A lot of us think of Webex as just meetings, but that's not the case, right? That's kind of the point of the topic of the webinar. It's definitely more than meetings. And so with the Webex platform and the Webex portfolio, you get so much. Cisco is the only vendor that offers a true end-to-end collaboration solution. And that's what we see here. So the Webex suite, starting with that, is our everyday knowledge worker type of collaboration. So when we think about the Webex suite, we think about the Webex app, which, like Joe said, Dave will take us into what that is a little bit later, but that's all things messaging, meetings, webinars like we're on today, calling, vidcast, and a few other features as well. So that encompasses the Webex suite, and we'll dig into each of those features a little bit more here today. Up next are our Cisco devices. So a big differentiator for us here at Cisco is that we offer our own hardware, right? Compared to some of the other collaboration vendors, I think of Ring or Microsoft, right? You've got to, purchase third-party hardware and manage that however that might be. But with Cisco, we manufacture that as well. So you get your software, your hardware, everything integrate and works, well together. And that goes with our calling solution. So obviously our Cisco phones, but also our video endpoints. And so like Joe said, we'll be talking a little bit about what our device portfolio looks like and some of the integrations and benefits behind our video endpoints. And then lastly, we have our contact center. And Webex Connect, which is our customer experience offering. So think about how you might be supporting your customers today. Maybe you have a traditional call center. Maybe you don't have a solution in place to support those customers and kind of get customer satisfaction feedback, or things of that nature. And so that's where Webex Contact Center comes into play and can help your business improve that overall customer experience. And all of this is built on the Webex platform. And by nature, Cisco is obviously a security company, so the security is built in to our products and not bolted on. It's not an afterthought, right? So knowing that your data, your information is going to be secure in the Webex platform. And then artificial intelligence. Obviously, AI is a big push right now. It's a hot topic in technology. And so Cisco has brought AI into the Webex platform as well. So we'll see what Cisco is doing with our Webex services and how AI is helping businesses like yourselves. And then manageability, the control hub. This is where everything is managed from a device perspective, all of your services, all of your users. You're able to see analytics, reporting, everything that you can think of, collaboration, one single pane of glass. And we'll take a look at that as well in a little bit. And then sustainability. Cisco, thinks about sustainability not only when we are manufacturing and making these products, but also how we're boxing them up and shipping them out to you guys as our customers. So this would not be a Cisco presentation if I didn't throw some numbers at you. So the big focus, what we're looking at today, is going to be around hybrid work and customer experience. So looking at these numbers, 98% of meetings will have at least one remote participant. I don't think that's a shocker to any of us now. I think COVID helped open up all of our eyes that we don't have to all be in an office, all in a boardroom to have a meeting. There's plenty of platforms out there. And so, you can join anywhere by virtue of applications in the internet, right? But the more staggering number, I think, is that only 15% of conference rooms are video enabled. And so when we talk about this new way of working, we want to make our work feel inclusive and like we just want to offer the best experience. And if I'm on a meeting and I'm on a meeting with a bunch of people that don't have their video on, I don't feel like the people that I'm talking to are as engaged. I may not be as engaged or as attentive. And so video is vital to successful meetings. And seeing that number of only 15% being enabled, of conference rooms being video enabled, that's pretty staggering, right? So Cisco's got a bunch of devices and great solutions to help you if you are a part of that number there. And then customer experience. 95% of customers saying that they would switch brands due to poor customer service interactions, right? That's pretty staggering. And so that kind of leads to the point of, how are you measuring customer satisfaction? Do you know how long, your customers are waiting in queue, or how they like to be engaged for support, or how they're engaging with your company as a brand? These are things that we need to think about to offer a better experience for our customers. And that's what you can get with Webex Contact Center and some of our other customer experience offerings that we'll look at here in a bit. And this kind of just recaps everything we talked about, right? Every interaction to some regard is hybrid. The office, Cisco wants to make the office a magnet and not a mandate. We think about HR and facilities and people that have real estate that, after COVID, we kind of realized we don't have to all be back in the office, but we have this space that we're paying for and we want to bring people back in. A way to be creative and do that is by getting some of these video endpoints in your organization so that your team can use them for collaboration. So really good stuff there. And then customer expectations are high. Think about how you engage with some of the brands that you know and you love, right? You might get text messages from them. You might text the business. You might use chat bots on the company website. You might use social channels to interact with your brands. Are you doing that for your customers? If the answer is no, you're probably not offering the best customer satisfaction experience, and we can help you think about that and get a plan in place with our contact center solutions. And so once again, this kind of covers what we just talked about. The three focus areas, if you haven't caught on by now, for Cisco in collaboration are reimagining work, reimagining really the hybrid worker with the Webex suite, reimagining our workspaces with our Cisco video endpoints, and then reimagining the customer experience with contact center and CPaaS. And so we'll dig a little deeper into each of these. So up first, the Webex Suite, right? This is your everyday collaboration tool. Like I said before, this lives inside of the Webex application. And this is great for, anybody that's on the go, right? You can have the Webex app on your mobile phone, on your PC, wherever you've got a device, you can have, your business communication right there in front of you. And so what you get with the Webex Suite is Webex meetings, messaging, calling, webinars, events, whiteboarding, polling, and video messaging. And so we'll dig into these and also talk about what's really exciting is what AI is doing in some of these features to increase customer productivity and really just save all of us a little bit more time and making our jobs a little bit easier, right? That's kind of the whole goal of AI. And so that's what Cisco's done with the Webex AI assistant. So once again, here is the Webex app. As you can see, the one app for all of your collaboration needs, whether it is meetings that you're joining, webinars like you're on today, messages that you're sending internally, calls that you're making, any way that you communicate can all be done on one application. And this, is great for IT administrators, great for security purposes. If we can have one central place to collaborate, that's just going to be better for everybody involved. And you get that with the Webex app and with the Webex Suite. So now going over some of the AI with the Webex AI Assistant. First, we're going to take a quick look at what it can do for your meetings platform. I'll be honest, right? Like Cisco kind of dropped the ball when when COVID came around. Like Cisco had a pretty good customer base and it had a pretty good solution, but a lot of customers picked up other solutions, whether it be Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And, we definitely lost a good bit of the market share in the meeting space. But with this Webex AI assistant and what it can do, I think we're going to, pick a lot of our customers back up and give them a better solution to join and to send out their virtual meetings. And so taking a look at what the Webex AI assistant can do, here's kind of your typical Brady Bunch style looking Webex meeting that we're on here. We're going to focus on Clarissa. She's going to be the star of the show. I really love the video quality of this picture here. My folks here must have some Cisco desk cams or desk pros because everybody's looking great in this meeting. But as we focus in on Clarissa, she is going to step away from her desk. Webex AI is going to detect that she has stepped away from her meeting. Maybe she is taking a call from her doctor, or her school, her child's school is calling, or she's just stepping away to get a cup of coffee because we can see David here has been talking way too long and she's getting a little tired, right? She needs to go get a cup of coffee. So she comes back to the meeting. She clicks on that back to the meeting option up there that Webex AI assistant has proposed to her, and she can then catch up on what she's missed while she was away from the meeting. So we'll go ahead and click on view there. And then she gets a recap or a summary, if you will, of what was discussed during the meeting. Now we can get even more granular with that. We can ask, hey, was Clarissa, hey, was my name mentioned? Or she can even view the full transcript. She has decided to view the full transcript. So now she can see exactly who was talking, what they said, who's throwing out emojis, anything that's going on in that meeting. She's able to get that via the transcript. And also too, a great thing with Webex meetings and also Webex webinars like we're on today, whenever the recording is published and we send that out, you're able to also get the transcript and get timestamps to see, pertinent information that is most important to you, right? So you're not having to sit through a whole hour-long meeting to get some of the information that you wanted to get out of the meeting or the webinar. So really great stuff that we're seeing from the AI assistant in Webex meetings. Up next is the AI assistant in Webex messaging. So I know, obviously, us being Mother Cisco, we use Webex like no other. And so we've got Spaces, which Dave is going to show you guys here in a little bit. But our Spaces are basically just a group of people in your organization or outside of your organization where you might be collaborating on a project, sharing content, whatever the case may be. So let's just say that you go on PTO, or maybe you take a half day because your kid's got a baseball game or something, and you come back to your Webex app and you've got a bunch of unread messages. We all can kind of probably relate to this in being being in like large group chats on your iPhone. Don't you wish there was a way to kind of summarize what was being said and what you missed? Well, with the Webex AI Assistant and Webex messaging, you actually get that. So you can summarize what was being said and figure out the most relevant information to you. So this is really, really good stuff. And once again, AI is just making all of our lives easier, and we're seeing that with Webex. And then also, we can adjust our tone to communicate more effectively and clearer with our organization. So as you can see, you can type out a message here within Webex AI Assistant. It's got a little icon there at the bottom of the message. You can click on that, type in what you want to say to your colleague or in a space, and then you can change the tonality of what you're saying. So you can make that friendly. You can make it more professional. However you want to doctor it up, the AI assistant will allow you to do that. And then obviously you can choose to utilize that message that Webex AI has given you and update the message, or you don't have to. Obviously, you can stick with what you've got. But a great way to kind of expand your vocabulary and maybe send some once again more effective, more clear messages to different people inside and outside of your organization. All right, so now we're going to move over to Webex calling. I know Cisco, we're obviously known for our phones, Cisco Call Manager. We've been in the phone business, I guess, for 20-ish years or so, right? And so Webex calling is our cloud-hosted calling platform. And as you can see, we can run Webex calling on a multitude of devices. We obviously can run it on our hard phone, the tried and true Cisco phones. We can run it on our PC, our MacBook, our cell phone, obviously iPhone or Android, and also our video devices. Like I'm talking to you guys today on a Desk Pro. I've got my Webex app installed there. I can use it as a calling device. So really good stuff. Obviously, with this being cloud hosted, you get all these features like we're talking about. You get a full enterprise grade calling system, so you don't have to sacrifice any of the features that you might be utilizing today, like auto attendance, hunt groups. However you have your call flows configured, you can bring that same capability to Webex calling. And then obviously we also have a lot of Cisco call manager customers that are on premise, and with Webex calling, Cisco offers a flexible migration to the cloud, so you're not having to lift and shift your entire organization at once. If you are a Cisco calling customer and you're interested in moving to the cloud, we can help you migrate at your own pace. And I would say the biggest, proponent or reason for looking at a cloud calling solution is the centralized management and administration through the control hub. So if you're a business that's got a multi-location business and you're trying to manage that phone system, I can imagine it can definitely be a headache for you if you're still on premises. If you are in the cloud, all of this can be managed in the control hub, which, we kind of make the joke of, you could be on a beach in Mexico and you can manage your entire collaboration environment. Why you would be working at a beach in Mexico, I do not know, but you have that capability with this being cloud-based and with our control hub. And so Dave is going to also, show us a little bit more about what control hub can do here in a little bit. And some of the newer features, if you will, and the AI that's built into the Webex app and to Webex calling, it's really around audio intelligence. And so I'm going to tease this right now, but this slide is a little bit outdated. It shows that noise removal is available on the Cisco 8875 phone. That is true, but Cisco, as of yesterday, announced a whole new series of phones, the 9800 series, that this audio intelligence technology is going to be available on as well. So we'll look at that here in a minute. But what is so great about noise removal and optimizing for my voice? Well, on the Webex app in Webex calling, Cisco offers best in breed noise removal and noise optimization. There was a company about 3 or 4 years ago that did it really well, and Cisco, as Cisco does, acquired that company and baked it into their product. And so now, like I said, it's hands down the best in the business. And it's just nice to have if you're working from home or you're working in a busy office environment and you want to reduce the noise around you for the people that you're talking to. And this goes both for calling and meetings as well. The same noise removal and optimization is there. So yeah, you can offer that, with your phone system. And then another really cool thing that I think is maybe even more beneficial than the noise removal is the HD voice. And this allows you to remove noise from an external non-Webex user's side of the call with just one click. So think about, if you're talking to somebody that's at a busy construction site or a doctor's office, and there's just a lot of background noise, and it's not from you because you've got this great noise removal, but on the other end, you're having a hard time hearing what this person is saying. HD voice allows you to remove that noise, so you're not having to say, hey, sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was that? There's a bunch of background noise. So it makes that awkwardness, if you will, in a conversation no more. So this is really good stuff and really vital when we're talking about phone systems, right? We want to make sure everything works and that it's high quality. And here is the point of it being very, very high quality on the audio side. So like I mentioned earlier, kind of teasing these are the new 9800 series announced yesterday at Enterprise Connect, a big collaboration roadshow that they do every year. And so the Cisco desk phone, the 9841 and 9851, those both are available now. So please reach out to your Infranet rep and get your hands on as many of these as you can. And then you've got our 9861, 9871, and then the key expansion modules. Those are coming available May of this year. And really, this is really cool because Cisco hasn't had I believe a phone series rollout in the last 10 years or so, because they are tried and true. They work very well, but with the advancements that we're seeing in technology and in collaboration specifically, we need to have phones that are kind of following the trend and following the times as well. And so here is what some of the benefits are, and this is just a limited amount of the benefits, but we can see here taking action. You can make an E911 call with a click of a button on your 9800 series phone, and then you can simply click on call now. So really easy way for you and your business to make 911 calls. Obviously, we hate to hear that, but we all know it happens and it's real. And so Cisco takes that very seriously, and that's why that feature is available. Up next is booking desk space. So when it comes to hot desking and having a shared space where multiple people throughout the week might come in and work at that desk, they want to have access to that phone as well. And so you can, with these 9800 series phones, book desk space. And once you have that desk booked for the day or for whenever you have it, if I go in, to that desk and it's assigned to me for the day, I can use that QR code, get signed in via the Webex app, and boom, that phone is now mine for the day. It's going to have my call history, my contacts, all of that good stuff. And then obviously, when I sign out, it's available for whoever is checking into that desk later on. So really cool stuff there. Personalizing your experience. So this is, you can have fun colors and, whatever fits your personality, right? You can have that across your phone, but you can also personalize the widgets and what's most important to you from a calling perspective. So you have that there on your phone. And then really cool stuff with the ability to join meetings. All right. We all know that, we get a bunch of meetings, whether it's, from Cisco with Webex or it's Microsoft Teams, and you now have this calendar integration where we can get the one button to join on these 9800 series devices as well. And then lastly, digital signage. So you can blast, your company logo, your social media sites, whatever you see fit on your phones. And that's a great idea, like maybe out in the lobby where your clients or people that you work with are coming in and they can see, digital signage everywhere. That's just a kind of a modern way of doing business and makes your business look a lot better too. So pretty cool feature, I thought, there from Cisco. So moving off the phones, obviously, if y'all have more questions about that stuff, let's get connected. It's still kind of new to us, so we're still learning more and more about all this, but I think they're really going to be a hit in the market for you guys. But up next, we have business texting. So this is a relatively new feature within the Webex calling, the Webex app. This is one-to-one texting today. As long as you have a Cisco Webex calling license and a Cisco calling plan, you get access to business texting. As of right now, you cannot do group text or multimedia messaging, like sending pictures or videos. But that is on the roadmap and probably coming, very, very soon. So really cool that you can utilize your business phone number and text people within your business. You're not having to put your personal phone number out there and have people texting you on that. So a nice feature that Cisco is now offering for our Webex calling users. And here's just some numbers to show how tried and true and trusted Cisco calling is. Obviously, the legacy kind of on-premise market, Cisco's got a whole lot of install customers on that, but we are at a pretty high rate, high clip, migrating customers to our cloud hosted option. You can see we've got over 13 million people today on Webex calling, and that number is just continuing to increase time and time again, because a lot of customers are just ready to migrate their or move their collaboration workloads to the cloud. So that's kind of why we're seeing the big uptick there and all these great benefits that we're discussing as well, right? Then from a connectivity standpoint, we wanted to point out that there are 3 flexible options for PSTN with Webex calling. The first is the Cisco calling plan. So this is obviously hosted in Cisco's cloud. There's no need to have a router or a gateway on site to make and take your calls. This is totally cloud-based. So if that's something you're looking at, that's a great option. We also have cloud-connected PSTN. We do have some customers that are, with our competition. They've got a cloud-connected PSTN partner, and they, want to keep that for whatever reason. You can do that, right? You can bring that partner to Cisco. I want to say we've got like at least 40 or 50 of them out there. So really any cloud-connected PSTN partners out there, we've got them on our line card, and you can utilize those. Lastly is the local gateway option, right? So if you can bring your own carrier if you're locked into a contract or it's bundled with your internet and you're getting a good deal on it, and you just don't want to cut ties. That should not stop you from moving to this solution. You can definitely bring that with you. And then lastly here, I wanted to show the different Webex data centers that we have to show our geo redundancy. Obviously, if you're in a certain data center and something were to go on there or some updates or whatever, there's failover available across these different geos that we have our data centers at. So Webex Go with AT&T. So if you are a AT&T customer, this makes business calling just that much easier. This is an add-on to Webex calling, but you can use your native dialer and make calls with your business phone number. So you would literally just pull up your AT&T device, whether it's an iPhone or Android. Obviously, if you dial from there, you're doing that from your personal number. There will be a little icon that you can click and select your Webex Go line, and you can make calls with your business number. So anybody that's obviously on AT&T or actively on the road or wants to simplify their business phone system even more, not even having to utilize the Webex app, Webex Go is a great alternative and a great solution for you. And then the last thing I'm going to cover before I send it over to Dave is Vidcast. So this is a feature also within the Webex suite. Some of the benefits that I see and have used in the past is when it comes to trainings or getting mass messaging out, whether it be your marketing or sales department or just product updates or company updates, you can record, edit, and share short videos all on Vidcast, and you can share it however you see fit. You can post it to your website, send it over email, however you're sharing, you can do that. So it's really neat and can really cut down on meeting times as well. And I think if you're having to sit in a live training, you're kind of wasting somebody's time, whereas you can record this stuff and have it readily available for other employees as they're coming in. So that's a great use case. And then the last thing, we're bringing AI Assistant into Vidcast as well. And so we can see here that this is a 26-minute Vidcast. I can obviously, increase the speed. I've done that quite a few times in my own trainings, is, jack that puppy up to 2.0 and get through this thing at half the time. So that's nice to have and nice to see. You can also, it also segments out the video by chapters and what information is being discussed. So once again, kind of like we talked about meetings, you can jump to the most pertinent information for you. And then we also get some timestamps for those highlights as well. So we can see, where they're talking about the information that is most important to you. So yeah, I know that was a lot of information in a very short time, but I'm going to stop there, turn it over to Dave, and let him show you guys the Webex app.
Thank you, Ryan. And ending on that last portion of vidcast, I just put in the chat group a training collection of videos produced by Cisco on using vidcast if you're interested in that. But I'll touch on that briefly in my demo. And what I'm going to do is kick off my demo right now. We're doing good on time, so let's start this. So as Ryan said, it's more than meetings, and one thing that we use in-house here at Infranet is the fact that Webex is an awesome messaging tool. Some people will say, oh no, Slack's #1, oh no, Teams #1. Well, they all have their advantages, but they also have their disadvantages. One of the advantages we find, of course, is that it integrates completely with our calling platform, the collaboration platform that we've chosen to use is, of course, it was first Cisco on-prem and now it's Webex. But moving right into my demonstration for the day, the Webex app, and some of you might be familiar with it. Up here at the top, you can set your status, shows your avatar as to what you are. You can set your status as to whether you're working from home. You can clear it after a certain number of hours or after a day. A lot of useful tools there. Starting right into messaging, I can see a couple numbers here on my sidebar, messaging 6. Oh, what's that mean? Well, it means I've had 6 people or 6 postings of messages. I can see here at the top, big lightning bolt, it's the recommended messages. Kind of an AI feature. Webex is just kind of looking out for me. The more I use Webex and the more I use messaging, the more it learns. So it's recommended a few messages. Let's just see what it's saying. It's saying, oh, Casey's saying thanks, Nina's saying, but it's all good. It's just learned that it's either a direct message or it was a familiar person. If you see here on the left, sorry, on the right, as to what what you should be focusing on. And it's just trying to, again, get you through your day and get you through to things faster. Down here a little bit, we've got the different types of messaging areas, we'll call it. All is everything. Direct are just the one-on-ones. And if you see up at the top, these are 2 of my SMS texting. And I'll just stop here for a moment. And I'll go to this and I'll send out a test to my phone. And I'll send it. And it should come to my cell phone. As long as all texting services are working. Yes, and I've got it. This is another test on my phone. All good on this end. Okay, and it's sent. And as you can see, it's just a one-to-one text. Ryan touched on it a little bit. We had a use for this the other day. In fact, it was a call in, person needed some help, person could not get to a remote control tool that we use. So the engineer said, oh, wait a minute, I've got a DID, I've got a personal number associated with my Webex account. So what they did was they sent the person a text, they sent them the URL that they had to go to in order to try to get, more done. And that was one good use case for it. And then as Ryan pointed out, if you don't want to give out your personal number to somebody, on your text phone, your mobile phone's personal number, you can use your business number because it is just using your business DID for that. So anyway, that's just another conversation that I've got here in my direct messaging. I've also got direct messages from other work colleagues. And then if I go down the list, I'm sure I find some Cisco folks and other people that are outside of my organization as well. Spaces are all the different spaces that we create. In a space is really just multiple people talking about the same subject. We use it mostly for project management. If it says INT, it's a project that we're talking about internally. And if it says EXT, it's got customers, and we have customer contacts within those groups, and we can share things. We can throw ideas back and forth. We can add pictures to the space. Um, Here we go. So we're in my internal voice routing. You can see the fact that there are different files that have been associated with it. There might be a whiteboard. There's not in this one. There are some links. It highlights all the links that you've actually imported from a browser into the session. Anyway, keep going on with messaging. The organization of messaging is something also that's nice to have. And if you see here, I have this section up here called ATS section. That's just an organization that I made. And then I put my spaces that I want under the ATS section there. And then the favorites is a canned, comes with WebEx. You can just automatically right click on, and you can send it to add to favorites. And so now my Rocky Mount housing space is part of my favorites, or I can remove it from there as well. You can also make new spaces, and I'll just summarize everything up here. I'll go here and I'll create a new space, and I'll call it fun, and I'll create it. And now there's the there's the fun space, but also there's the fun section. So I created a new space, and I can join people there. But what I intended to do is not create the fun space. So we'll just leave the fun space. What I wanted to do was go here and take my Infranet bracket challenge, which is our NCAA basketball tournament, and I wanted to move that to a section. So I move it to the fun section. And so now it's just organized. It's not under one of my favorites. It's just under my fun group. Meetings, of course, within the WebEx app, we've all seen it. The calendar view shows me what my week's like. It is integrated, or my WebEx app is integrated with Outlook. So I do see some of my appointments from Outlook in here, and I also see some of my actual WebEx meetings in here. So I'm seeing my entire calendar. And it makes it easy to just not have to go back and forth between one application and the other. I can actually see my day. One useful feature that I've used on occasion here is the meeting recap. So all the meetings that you were invited into the different spaces, you can have a recap of the session. So I can go into this meeting and get more details on it. And if there was an actual space about that, I would see more information about the meeting, and I could go through a recap of it. To start a meeting, I of course can use these quick buttons. Start a WebEx meeting or start a personal web room meeting. I can simply start it right here. It lets me test my microphone. Then it lets me start the room. I can join a meeting, which would mean someone else had sent me a code or some kind of invite. And then of course you can schedule a meeting. One thing that I noticed actually while putting together the demo was this collapse up here. If you just want to neaten up the space, you can hit the collapse button. And so all those little shortcut buttons just become very small buttons up here on the right-hand corner. That's it for meetings. We didn't want to expend too much time on that. Teams within the app are really just organizations of the spaces. Again, because we use it for so much project management, we've got moderators who look at all of our different projects, and they create these spaces with our project names on them, and they just organize them within a team. And then people can join and leave the teams as needed. once the project's done and everything's customer satisfied, all bills paid, etc., the project manager goes in and he archives these spaces or archives these spaces out of the teams and puts them into an archive spot. But Teams is just a collection of your spaces. And again, it's fluid. It's not locked down so that only the administrator or a moderator can do these types of actions. You can create your own teams. You can create your own spaces, etc. It's not a lockdown type of tool. Contacts, really quickly. It's all the contacts that you have in and out of your organization. I've broken down my contacts. You can of course build new contact groups, top contacts, okay, a customer facing group there. Here's my Cisco group, and I noticed that I don't have Ryan in there. So what I can do is right here, add a contact. I'll look up Mr. Kincaid, and I'm not going to put him in the other groups. I'm going to put him in my Cisco contacts group. So there he is. He's now part of my Cisco contacts group. And again, just another way to help you organize. And I've got it broken down into our CSR division, our RDU office, our Richmond office, and our Rocky Mount office. Just all the different contacts and people that I work with day to day. And really, when you click on these, you see a highlight here. I can message this person, I can audio call this person, or I can video call this person. If I just click on the space, it just gives me more information about that person, their title, who their direct manager is, and then phone, email, and personal meeting room information. So last two subjects within the call, within the Webex app would be calling and voicemail. Calling, of course, is using it as a phone. It's a software phone. When it's first launched, you see all the calls that you've made. This icon indicates that it was an outgoing call. This icon says it was a potential for a fraud call. And this one says it was a possible spam. So it's classifying some of the calls as well with some intelligence. Missed are, of course, all the missed calls that I had. Last portion within the app, actually last two portions within the app, are the vidcast and something that we found useful, personal insights. Again, so many features within the Webex app. It's hard to give a 15-20 minute demo and show you all, but we found this useful. Say you're a manager or you're managing a group of people. Personal insights shows you your connections, your meetings, and a work-life balance. It's just keeping track. It's just keeping statistics of the last 7 days. And so we look at this graph, which we thought could be useful in certain situations. It shows me who the top 10 connections were over time. So back in January, I was talking more with this purple line. If I follow the purple line, well, it was Cooper, one of my junior engineers who I mentor. So it makes sense that he'd be, towards the top of the list. This other line, number 2, looks like I got busy with some projects because this purple line goes to number 2. He's my project coordinator. So it just shows me that I was keeping in touch with these two people who I should have been. And conversely, maybe I wasn't keeping in touch with people I should have been keeping in touch with. So this will show you down here your distant connections as well as your closest connections. And that's all I've got to say about insights. It just shows you how you've been communicating with people using the Webex app. Last portion of my demo before I kick it back to Ryan is vidcast. So vidcast was an app that you had to integrate, and Cisco has pulled the trigger and decided that they're just going to integrate it within Webex and allow it to be more easily used. So there is a new button on the control panel within the app called Vidcast. We see it as a future tool in order to allow you to record small demonstrations or just a long-term shelf or short-term shelf life training videos, or just to get the message across via video rather than via written. Because if you can record something and share your desktop and get the message across once and share it to 15 people, that's 15 more times you don't have to say it again. So video voicemail, you could call it that as well. But it's pretty simple to use. It opens you up to the home page. I'll just give you a quick view. Here's the library of some of the videos that I've recorded in testing. Webex meetings. You can actually take an old Webex meeting and convert it into a vidcast, and then use the vidcast editing tools to manipulate it and use that as part of a training tool. So, and you can also then collaborate and receive and send vidcast videos with other people within your organization. And here's just a quick short playlist that I created. A playlist, of course, is multiple vidcasts that you've recorded. So you just make a collection, and it's actually the link that I sent you is a collection playlist of the training videos that Cisco's put out. Back here, we'll go back to home, and I'll just show you really quick. You can just press the button, record a new video. It sets it up. I've got another camera over here. It'll allow me to just record right now, and I can just record the video that I'm showing, or I can share the screen, and it's just very similar to Webex. It'll let me share the screen or share the particular app that I'm wanting to highlight, and then I just start recording. And then once it's done, it edits, or it runs like an AI over it, and it brings out highlights, and it brings out the transcription. It does quite a bit. I encourage anybody who has Webex now to take a look at it, record a video, see what it can do. You know, help you help others with a quick training video. And what was the one thing? Yes, I have a note here within Vidcast. Yes, we have this top button here. We have the settings within Vidcast. I keep wanting to join Webex and Vidcast. I found here in the settings notifications, and this seemed a little bit useful. Choose when to get an email notification. So basically, you can use Vidcast to create the video, and then you send it out to all your colleagues, but it doesn't stop there. It actually will send you notifications as to, well, Ryan watched this video, Joe watched this video. It'll tell me that, you know, if I'm using it as a training tool, who actually took the training, took the time. And I thought that was kind of neat. And you can summarize it into an every time, a once a day, once a week, or once a month. I guess it just depends on the importance of the information that you're sending out. Again, a little bit hidden, but once you're in the Vidcast app, you go to the little triple dot, and then you go to settings, and that's under notifications. Touching on that one, settings under Webex can get you buried into quite a few details as well. And again, I'm going to go to notifications on this one, because I find that setting notifications on messages from the default of all messages, meaning every time you get a message in any space, your computer goes bing, change it to direct messages and @mentions to me. That way you're not getting inundated with little pings all throughout the day, but you're just getting hit with the important information. You'll still see when people, you know, when spaces are updated, but you won't get that audio and visual ping every time. So anyway, I wanted to show you that real quick. Ryan, that's it for right now.
Perfect.
Send it back to you. Hopefully the viewing was okay, and I didn't go too fast.
No, it looked good. It was perfect. Thank you. Thank you,
right.
Dave. I know we're kind of running short on time now, so we'll kind of speed through some of this stuff. But as we talked about before, the 3 pillars, reimagining work. Next, we're talking about reimagining our workspaces with our Cisco video endpoints. So once again, big differentiator, Cisco, we manufacture our own hardware. Can't say that enough. Makes it easy for manageability, for troubleshooting purposes, for integrations with our software. Obviously, Cisco on Cisco is going to work really, really well for your business. But looking at what we've got here, so when it comes to desk cameras and headsets, think about your, maybe call center agent or person in a busy office. We've got equipment for them. Obviously, phones. We talked about kind of the new age phones that we're coming out with, but also we have phones for, kind of more manufacturing or industrial sites where they need to be ruggedized. They need to be wall mountable, right? We've got phones for you there. And then moving more into the video, and I guess I should have also said going up, scaling up, right, to more of a C-suite type of phone or a executive type of phone where it's got, a bunch of buttons, a really good, a video capability, a nice colored screen. We've got those phones as well. Now moving into our video endpoints, we've got our Desk series, which I'm talking to you on, is our Desk Pro. It's great for if you're, just somebody who takes a bunch of virtual meetings, week over week. It's really easy on your eyes, gives you high quality video, makes me look a little bit less ugly than I actually am, and high quality audio as well. So really good stuff, for your everyday meeting use. You can also use it in a smaller shared space environment where you might have a couple of people that are, joining a meeting together, or they're kind of co-collaborating on a whiteboard, or just working together on a project. It can be used for more than just one person. And it also acts as a really good secondary monitor too. And that goes for the Desk Pro and the Desk Minis. And then the Board series is kind of the Desk Pro on steroids. It's comes in either 55 or 75 inches. It comes on wheels, or you can, it's obviously wall mountable as well. But if you're looking to have a, digital board display, for your video meetings, the Board Pro is a great option for that. And then lastly, in the conference room, the Room series devices. These are plug and play devices to your TV displays, whether that be one screen or multiple screens. And as you can see, kind of top down, they scale in size depending on how big the conference room is, right? And how many people are in that conference room. And all of them come with the Room Navigator. That is where you control the actual meeting. You can also do some other really cool stuff as far as controlling temperature and lighting and shades and all kind of stuff that you can do. But, basic use and function of it is to access and join your meeting. And it's really easy to use if you have somebody in your organization that you schedule a meeting for in that room and they're not super tech savvy. I'm sure you've probably had to, go in there and help them get a meeting started. But this is literally, you walk in, one button to push, and I'm in that meeting and we're off to the races. So good stuff there. Cisco has now partnered with NVIDIA. So all of our devices are shipping with NVIDIA chipsets. And so this has obviously increased, speed and overall capabilities of our devices. And so looking at what is now available with our devices and what it can do, audio intelligence, once again, it can, noise removal, optimizing for your voice, everything we talked about on the calling and meetings portion, you get that same luxury in our video endpoints, but you also get directional audio, right? So if I'm in the back of a conference room and I have something to say, that microphone is going to pick me up back in the back of that conference room, and the audio is not going to sound echoey or terrible. It's going to pick that up and make it sound really good for the meeting. And then video intelligence, the different things that we can do are like frames and people focus. So if you're in a big conference room and you've got 20 people and we want to focus the meeting on whoever is speaking or a subset of people, you can frame it up however you see fit. So really nice and a lot better than just having a wide angle view of everybody in the conference room. Meeting zones is really cool. I saw a video of this recently where if you've got maybe like a glass window conference room, right, and people are walking by or being nosy and kind of listening to your meeting, that might be kind of annoying or distractive to whoever is in your meeting. But meeting zones will focus in on who is actually in that conference room, who's talking. So it just brings the attention to what we're here to discuss on that meeting. And then we also have presenter and audience tracking. If you're presenting some content and you're walking around, right? That camera can follow you while you're presenting your information. And then same thing with the audience tracker. We have the other cameras, that peripherals that connect to these devices. And whenever the audience is asking a question, if you're in more like a training room type of scenario, you can get that as well. And we've got links, we can probably post those as well, to all of these features and actually seeing how all this stuff works in real time, because it's really, really neat and definitely a differentiator for us here at Cisco. I know we're running really short on time. So the one thing I wanted to cover is the video interoperability of our devices. So all of our devices by nature are interoperable, meaning you can join any meeting platform, whether it's Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Webex. We know obviously you're getting meeting invitations from people all over, and it would be no use to you if you could not join those meetings in a very easy fashion. And so with the integrated, with the hybrid calendar that we can set up, you can do that, right? So you can join all these meeting platforms that you see here. And then wanted to also announce that Cisco devices, this came out a while back, but our devices are MTR certified. And that means that you can get the Microsoft Teams experience on our Cisco devices and utilize some of the capabilities that we were just talking about. But yeah, I know that a lot of our customers are Office 365 shops, and they kind of have standardized on Microsoft Teams. And so to give them that best in class Microsoft Teams experience, they can now do that on our devices. And I know we're running short on time, but Dave, did you want to call out some of your experiences using MTR?
Yeah, just a real quick. We've had a few installs where the client was heavily using Teams, and so they use the Teams desktop app, and they're in W365 or O365, and they really looked at the quality and all the other feature sets that Cisco has in its hardware and its collaboration hardware versus what else is out there, and they wanted a Cisco Room Bar or Room Bar Pro. And so with this advanced feature, we are now running Teams native on the Room Bar, and it runs the code in an Android container on top of Cisco OS. This is awesome because it's still running WebEx. It's still running Windows. It's still running Room OS. So you might do most of your scheduling of Teams and using the resource or the MTR within Teams to get people to join the meeting. But you can also send from WebEx a WebEx one button to push, and it'll still come up on the screen. And then it'll be, and when it's a WebEx invite, it comes up in native WebEx. So it's not dual. It's not dual use because it's still going to go and revert back to the Teams meeting room experience once the WebEx meeting's over. But that's actually kind of neat. Again, interoperability with Teams, Google, and Zoom. Not that it's a problem, but Blue Jeans and Lifesize and GoToMeeting, a couple of those other not so heavily used, still not supported unless they have a complete SIP URL join capability. Then of course WebEx will join to it through one of their gateways. Not a whole lot of caveats. Really, the only caveats were the limitation of the license. We suggest a Pro MTR license rather than the basic license on the Microsoft side, and that's so that you can have richer experience. One feature that you won't be able to run is dual monitor, and if you're going to run a Room Bar Pro, you're probably going to have two monitors on it, so you have to get that as well. Other than that, the groups that are testing it have enjoyed the experience so far running in that mode. So that's it. I think we're about out of time too.
Yeah, I guess we'll just keep going. Obviously, if people need to drop, we're just for the recording purposes, we'll keep on going here.
Okay.
And we'll kind of wrap it up quickly. But once again, this shows all of the Cisco devices that are available in MTR mode. So not all of our devices, but a majority of them in a great portfolio that kind of gives you the different use cases that you might see for your business across the desk series, the board series, and the room series, and also even headsets and desk cameras, right? So good stuff there. That's a true partnership with Microsoft and Cisco. And lastly, wanted to talk about customer experience and CX Essentials. This is a new offering from Cisco, really kind of geared towards our SMB customers, but also our back office teams, right? That need some additional feature functionality than just a traditional phone system, right? And how you might be able to support your customers. And so what CX Essentials gives you is you get agent screen pops. So if you're taking a call from a customer and you have a CRM tool, you can bring that up and actually take down customer information. So this might be useful for your sales department or customer support department or whatever, right? It's really like a traditional call center capabilities that you can get with CX Essentials. You can also do intelligent routing, where if somebody's calling for a specific issue and you have a department in your business or a person that can handle that issue, you can have that call routed to that specific agent. So you're not having to say, hey, Mr. Customer, let me get you over to so-and-so, and then they get you to so-and-so. So it just makes for better response time, better support for your customers. And then you also get supervisor experience. So you can kind of manage your agents and see, who's available, who's in these call queues, who's taking the most calls, who's not taking enough calls, when you guys are most busy. All of the analytics you can think of when it comes to managing a call center, you get that functionality with that supervisor experience. And so looking at some of the different offerings, the CX Basic, that comes included with Webex Calling. So everything we looked at with Webex Calling, you get CX Basic. Really the biggest difference is you get voice, you get call queuing now. So you can do that with your traditional Webex Calling phone system. CX Essentials is a step up. It's going to give you everything in CX Basic plus your Webex Calling licensing. It lives inside of the Webex application. And this is where you get all these, additional features that we talked about. And then CX Standard and Premium, that is going to be for your full-blown contact center, right? If we need omni-channel, right? We need to engage clients a certain way. We need to have, customer journey data where I can see all the different times that this customer has interacted with my business, and I know my customer really well. You get that with the contact center. Virtual agents, where you can have a lot of, kind of canned questions, if you will, that y'all might get a lot as a business. You can have virtual agents answer those for your customers so that your agents are spending their time supporting customers and their more complex issues than, hey, what are your business hours? And you can do that through virtual agents and chatbots. So I say all that to say, this is a lot of information. If you have questions and are looking to improve upon your customer experience offering, let your Infranet rep know, and we can kind of sit down and figure out which of these solutions might be best for your business. And then lastly, we were going to do a demo, but we can hold off on it for now. But the Control Hub is where everything is managed, right? You can manage all of your services, all of your users, all of your devices, get analytics and reporting as well. This kind of shows you a quick little snippet into what the Control Hub looks like, but you can troubleshoot, this communication, this call or whatever, across the network and figure out where it's going wrong. So really good stuff for IT administrators. Same thing on the Meraki side. We know there's a bunch of Meraki customers that utilize Webex, and we can get insights into our Meraki network and our collaboration apps that are sitting on top of that through this feature here within the Control Hub. And then, this just shows you all of the analytics as well. But as you can kind of see, you can see the different services that you can manage, your users and your devices and workspaces and everything else. So if you do want to, get a deep dive as to what the Control Hub can do, we'd love to set up some time with you as well. But with that, I know we're a few minutes over. I'll go ahead and wrap. Joe, I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks, Dave, as well. Clearly, there's more than enough information to go over on a platform that's growing. So thanks to all the attendees. Thanks for staying with us as we ran a little bit over. We had a couple questions come in, but we'll just get back to individuals on those. And then, like I said at the top, we'll get the presentation out to you all, make it available to everybody. And of course, don't hesitate to reach out to the Infranet team, the Cisco team, with any questions coming out of this. But thanks again to everybody. If you have a long weekend coming up, I hope everyone has a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.